The entire crew is disappearing and only Dr. Crusher can save them.
Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Treknalysis. Wesley's science project traps his mother in an ever-shrinking universe where everyone's disappearing and she feels like she's slowly going insane.
That shouldn't have happened.
Thanks, Wesley. Dr. Beverly Crusher, the Enterprise's chief medical officer, longtime friend of Captain Picard, and mother of Wesley, the source of all destruction, doesn't always have the best selection of episodes. If she's not guilt-tripping Worf to donate his blood, she's taken hostage by a planet of Mr. Sheffield cosplayers, or... well, we'll just leave that one alone. But every once in a while, she has a moment to really shine, like in the Star Trek The Next Generation Season 4 episode, Remember Me, a psychological sci-fi tale where the universe tries to crush the Crusher.
The Enterprise is in serious danger. You must believe me.
I believe that you believe it is. It's about time I cover an episode without roasting Beverly too much. Nah, I don't hate Beverly, it's just that she doesn't get a lot of good material to work with. Heck, I'd even argue that Dr. Pulaski was given more in a single season than Beverly ever got in the entire show. Which is a shame because Gates McFadden is capable of some really nice emotional moments.
They all have been the living, breathing heart of this crew for over 3 years.
I may roast episodes like Sub Rosa, but every once in a while, you get episodes like Remember Me that really showcase Gates' acting abilities. So today, keep your friends close and your loved ones even closer, and make sure you go towards that blue light as we discuss the episode Remember Me.
Is it a deadly mind game or a real-life nightmare on Star Trek The Next Generation?
But before I go further, thanks for checking out my video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more of my Star Trek, video game, and other miscellaneous content. Keep those hailing frequencies open on the other social media sites, and a big thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel. If you'd like to buy me a cup of tea and support my work, consider joining up on my channel. Be great to have you aboard. We open the episode on a pretty sweet shot at the Enterprise docking at a starbase for some crew rotation, and Beverly picking up her old friend and mentor, Dr. Dalen Quace, who you might recognize from Home Alone as that old guy from the airport.
She's got her own earrings, a whole shoebox full of them, dangly ones.
Dalen is moving back to his home planet after the death of his wife. They had a life together on the starbase, so he doesn't want to stay there and is just going back home. Which does have some shades of Cisco wanting to resign from Starfleet after Jennifer died, only with a lot less anger.
You know what the worst part of growing old is? So many of the people you've known all your life are gone.
Don't you dare go reminding me of Rocky V. Damn it, Dalen, that movie was terrible, and I'm mad that that one scene made me cry.
Little by little, we lose our friends, we lose everything, we keep losing and losing till we say,
There's no reason to load all this emotional baggage on you. I usually travel light.
With all this talk about losing loved ones, Beverly decides to go to engineering to see her son, Wesley, the boy only a mother could love.
Wes, time for the experiment is over. I want my warp engines back now.
See what I mean? Young Wesley is running an experiment, hopefully one that won't try to eat the Enterprise this time.
It's like candy to them.
But while he's running the experiment, Beverly's looking on, Geordi's yelling at him.
You done?
And a mysterious flash of light appears, and Beverly is suddenly gone.
What?
But seriously, the way Geordi was berating Wesley, you think he'd said something about his holodeck history.
Well, at least I don't have to fight my women on the holodeck.
Beverly goes to stop by Dalen's guest quarters, but he's not there. And no one knows why.
I was not aware of this passenger.
I see Enterprise security is hard at work again.
I don't know why Lieutenant Worf wasn't told about Dr. Quace.
Well, I was not informed either.
Running a tight ship, Jean-Luc? Well, okay, maybe Beverly just forgot to fill out a form, or...
I can find no service record whatsoever. There are no birth records with that name. I can find no...
Data.
Well, I guess Dalen Quace is a
man who does not exist.
But Beverly insists that Dalen Quace does indeed exist, despite what Starfleet's records are telling them. Heck, Chief O'Brien beamed him on board, and he has yet to lose a man.
I remember you being here for a short while, but you were alone.
I can't believe that Chief O'Brien might be lying.
Yeah, that's the logical conclusion. Gee, if only we had someone on board who can sense when someone was lying!
I sense nothing.
Again, why do we keep her on board? So in spite of years of faithful service to Starfleet, Chief O'Brien is outranked by the woman who might be imagining side characters from Home Alone, so everyone believes her and he has to submit himself to a medical exam.
But I feel fine.
Sit down.
Now tell me, how many lights do you see? But the exam only gets weirder. Oh, not that something weird is going on with the chief for once in his life, but Beverly's asking for staff members who don't exist.
There is no Dr. Hill or Dr. Solar aboard the Enterprise.
You see that look? That's the chief thinking about transferring somewhere else so he won't be subjected to any more weird exams.
Now, either I paint a nose, eyes, and mouth on it and pretend I've got two heads, or you take it off.
I'll get you some paint.
And then it turns out that the chief is completely fine. Poor man was just subjected to an unnecessary medical exam.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
The investigation continues as Picard and Beverly go down to engineering to find out what Wesley's experiment is all about.
I've been experimenting with Kaczynski's warp field equations, trying to improve engine efficiency.
Ah, yes, a little callback to Where No One Has Gone Before, the 5th episode of the show. Not a bad episode, especially for season 1. So for those of you who skipped season 1, which I can't say I blame you, Kaczynski arrived on the Enterprise with his assistant simply called the Traveler. Not to be confused with the Blues Traveler. They were going to try to increase the efficiency of the Enterprise's warp core, but ended up going to ludicrous speed into another galaxy where everyone's imagination starts coming to life. We do get a nice scene of Picard with his mom, though.
You've been
dead, but I'm always with you. You know that.
The Traveler, who basically does the bulk of the work between him and Kaczynski, tells Picard how wonderful and gifted Wesley is, and they power the Enterprise back home with happy thoughts, ultimately making the Traveler disappear and Wesley getting promoted without going to the Academy. So Wesley's experiment is basically a continuation of that, which led to the creation of a warp bubble that possibly trapped Dalen. The only problem with that theory is that Dalen, as well as the other missing people, were nowhere near engineering, and that wouldn't explain the erased memories or missing records. So we're totally banking on Beverly going crazy.
Apparently I no longer have any staff.
You do not have a staff.
You know what else is crazy? That a crew of over 1,000 people is down to 230. And this seems completely normal to everyone. Well, it took 3 years and Beverly has finally lost it. What did happen that season she was away?
I must be sure.
But I haven't lost my mind?
When you missed that one section of hair with your straightener. So Beverly seems to be the only one affected by whatever's going on, which seems like a precursor to a descent into madness, but that's probably a discussion for another time. But she agrees to talk to Troy as Picard takes her suggestion of returning to the starbase. And upon returning to sickbay,
Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished.
Well, in today's meeting that should have been an email, Geordi investigated sickbay and the result is that everything is totally normal. Except now there's even less people on board. We went from over 1,000 people to 230 to now 114. Which is totally normal to everyone despite flying around in a huge hotel convention center in space.
I'd like Lieutenant Worf to program onboard sensors to monitor all personnel.
I'm sorry. Whom did you say?
Yep. After denying Worf so many times, Picard is now denying his existence. The ultimate denial. Anyone want to place bets that this is an elaborate April Fool's prank?
April Fools. Jerk.
I need you to tell me if I've gone completely mad.
Yes, next question.
You're crazy. Now get out of my office.
Troy does try to calm Beverly down with some rare, decent advice. Even if it is all in her head and she delayed a mission, frightened a lot of people, accused everyone of a conspiracy. So what? They'll be a little late for their mission. They'll live.
Where's Wesley?
Who?
Mom?
Damn it.
We have to try to... Wesley!
And like Judy Winslow making her final ascent up the stairs in Family Matters, Wesley is gone. In fact, Picard and Beverly are the only ones left on the ship, and Picard doesn't remember anyone.
Deanna Troi, your ship's counselor, half-betazoid, loves chocolate. The arrival of her mother makes you shudder.
Oh shit, is she here?
Jean-Luc! You delicious man. You were just thinking of me, weren't you?
Credit to Gates McFadden in this scene. You can hear the anguish in her voice as she's describing her friends and colleagues who have not only disappeared, but only she remembers them. She's clinging to that last bit of sanity she has in a universe that no longer makes sense, unsure if there's an actual phenomena at work here or if she's suffering from a delusion. When she's given good material, Gates McFadden does a good job with it. Jean-Luc still thinks his CMO has totally lost her mind. After all, it's totally normal that the two of them are alone on a huge ship roaming about the galaxy. But he still humors her, trying to figure out what's going on as they head towards the starbase. And Beverly has something to tell him, something that she might not have another chance to say.
Jean-Luc, you and I...
Every time!
There must be a lot of things about you that I don't know.
Quite a few.
And here's something odd.
There are some things I want to tell you, in case we don't get out of this.
Personally, I like to think that she was gonna tell him that Wesley's his son, but we'll never know. Oh no, she's about the quantum leap again!
Is it holy, Commander?
Oh, it's just Wesley.
There's no way we'll get her back now.
Yeah, remember that flash at the beginning of the episode? That was Wesley's science experiment trapping Beverly inside her own universe in a warp bubble, and the blue vortex was Geordi and him trying to get her back. Which keeps on failing. But when all hope seems lost, the Traveler appears and explains that Beverly created her own reality when she was trapped, shaped by the very thoughts she had at that moment. Which happened to be about Dalen and losing loved ones.
As long as she thinks she is alive, she is alive.
What the hell does that mean?
Listen, Riker's only saying what we're all thinking. And unfortunately, the Traveler just can't walk into the bubble and get her because that would be like walking into her thoughts. But the boy Wonder has the power to save her! Because of course he does. He needs Wesley's help and special powers that he's just begun to realize to open a gateway for Beverly to escape. But she has to be the one to actually go through it. Only Wesley still has that guilty conscience pestering him, and the Traveler comes off like a discount Jedi.
You must open yourself to time and space, and the intricate threads that bind them.
Surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
Meanwhile, poor Beverly's stuck alone in her own universe arguing with ChatGPT, and at this point, apparently she was the only person ever on board the Enterprise.
Is there more than one USS Enterprise?
This vessel is the 5th starship to bear the name USS Enterprise.
It's been a long road.
Beverly's universe is now only 705 meters in diameter and surrounded by a blue mist like she's stuck in the never-ending story. Yeah, just don't take your horse through any sad swamps, Beverly. But at least she's committed to the idea that she is not crazy.
If there's nothing wrong with me, maybe there's something wrong with the universe.
As Wesley and the Traveler are phasing in and out of reality, I'm assuming, trying to open the door for Beverly, she realizes that she is indeed trapped in a bubble and makes her way to engineering to escape as the universe collapses around her.
Click my heels together 3 times and I'm back in Kansas. consequences.
Beverly jumps out of the bubble, Picard bypasses Wesley, collapsing on the floor to tend to her, and a family is reunited while everyone's on board who's supposed to be. Yes, even good old Dalen. And that was Remember Me. Not an episode I go out of my way to watch a whole bunch, but it's a very solid episode, both in how it's set up, as well as Gates McFadden's performance. We go on this journey with Beverly as the crew is mysteriously disappearing, both physically and in memory. And it's not until about 2/3 of the way through the episode that our perception of what's going on is subverted. That it's Beverly, not the crew, who's trapped in her own reality. The mystery and the plot twist work really well together. Also, props to Gates McFadden. It can't be easy acting by yourself for a good chunk of the scenes, or with only Majel Barrett's computer voice as the only other person in the scene. But Gates McFadden is able to carry her solo scenes and make her emotional state feel natural. Again, it's a shame that Beverly doesn't have more episodes like this because there was potential for some strong character episodes for her. Now, I would argue that the Traveler is the weakest part of the episode. It ends up feeling a little contrived that he happened to show up exactly when they needed him to save Beverly. Not to mention, he has to remind us how wonderful Wesley is. The episode would have flowed more naturally if Geordi and Wesley figured out some technobabble to pull Beverly out of the bubble, rather than the Traveler and a Deus Ex Wesley-na. But the Traveler doesn't break the episode, so it's not the worst thing that could have happened. At the end of the day, Remember Me is a Star Trek episode worth remembering.
I won't forget. I won't forget any of you.
So, what did you think of Remember Me? Did you love it? Did you hate it? How does it work as a Beverly-centric episode? Do you wish you got to see Gates McFadden stretch her acting muscles more on the show? And what are some of your favorite Doctor episodes? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Treknalysis. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
We've never needed a crew before.